Hello everyone and welcome back to Puddles' Place. I'm your host Puddles. Today we're going to be talking about add-ons, and in particular the 10 add-ons that I would recommend for new players. This is of course my own opinion, but I feel like these add-ons are super useful and I use the majority of these add-ons. I think there's only one add-on that I'm going to recommend that I don't use anymore, but I used to. So what are add-ons? Add-ons are small customizations that you can add to the game to change the way you see the game. They can also perform some very small, very basic tasks for you. Add-ons, however, will not play the game for you. Not only is this against the terms of service, but Blizzard has locked out all add-on functionality that may allow this. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1. Deadly Boss Mods, otherwise known as DBM. DBM is a must-have for anyone who wants to get into any sort of PvE content. DBM will provide you with timers, warnings, directions, and so much more during a fight. It can be the difference between completing a fight and wiping on it, as some things are easy to miss and DBM will bring them to light. DBM generally gets updated the day of a new dungeon or raid and has a huge amount of community support, so there will always be someone to answer a question. DBM's major competition is Bigwigs, which performs largely the same functions, but is a little more lightweight and customizable. I prefer DBM over Bigwigs though, and I recommend DBM for new players. Number 2. Cell Junk. Cell Junk is an incredibly tiny add-on and an incredibly simple quality of life add-on. It does exactly what its name implies. It sells junk for you. You still have to click a single button, maybe even multiple times, but it's a lot easier than having to sell every piece of vendor trash that you have piece by piece. Honestly, I think this should be a part of the default UI because it's so useful. Number 3. SCADA or Details. SCADA and Details perform the same basic function, but Details gives you a bit more options in the way of configuration, and SCADA is more lightweight. At their heart, they are both performance measurement add-ons. Not performance of your computer or anything, but performance of the group. They both measure such things as damage done, DPS, damage taken, healing done, and so much more. These are a great tool for any raider who wants the ability to compare themselves to other people. Recount also exists and performs the same basic function, but due to it using a much older algorithm, it is not nearly as accurate as SCADA or Details, so I'd stick with one of those two instead. Number 4. Auctionator or Auctioneer. These add-ons both provide a much more user-friendly system for the auction house. Not only do they make selling stuff a lot easier, but they also can let you see prices of stuff outside of the auction house, so you can know whether or not to just sell that new item to a vendor. Number 5. TomTom. TomTom serves as an in-game GPS and allows you to see exactly where someone is referring to. Simply plug in the coordinates and it will point you the way you need to go. Number 6. Global Ignore List and Chat Spam Filter. Sure, the standard ignore list works wonders, and it's probably one of my most used features. However, this add-on makes it even better. Global Ignore features more ignore slots and ignore list syncing across your entire account, so you never have to deal with that toxic person ever again. In addition to all of this, it also removes all gold spam from chat, as well as a few other spammy things. Number 7. GTFO. GTFO provides a nice supplement to DBM and is really handy for people with somewhat older or less powerful computers and for crowded fights. It provides a very loud, very audible warning for when you're standing in a bad AoE that you need to get out of. And DBM may not. For instance, this will provide a warning in PvP where DBM will not. Number 8. Gatherer. Gatherer is an interesting add-on that helps you farm for herbs or in treasure chests. This add-on keeps track of where in the world you farmed specific nodes and what you got from that node, how often that node is up, etc. It's not an essential add-on unless you're getting into hardcore gathering, but it's definitely handy. In addition to monitoring your own gathering, Gatherer will also monitor the gathers of other guild members who also use Gatherer. You can also find and download other people's Gatherer databases. Although it is incredibly useful, I don't actually use it because, well, that's actually a good question. Number 9. Pawn. Pawn is a great add-on that will tell you which gear is better for you and which gear you should keep and what you should get rid of, with a simple to use and understand interface. You can also get some extended functionality by also using Simulation Craft, but we're not going to get into that here. I might get that into a possible video about gearing up and preparing for endgame content, but I'm not sure yet. Number 10. Actually, I don't have 10 that I would list as a strong recommendation, but I'm going to take the 10th slot for many recommendations as add-ons that I or the community suggest that you use, but I don't think that they're necessary for new players. Either they're too complex, or the fact that I've gotten through just fine without them is why they're going to be in these mini recommendations. Most of these are UI modifications anyway, so it just changes how everything looks. A. Bagnon. Sorts all of your bags into one screen. B. Weak Auras. An engine for multiple UI customization options, such as hearing Owen Wilson say "wow" when you crit. C. Storyline. More for people interested in the lore and RP. Greatly improves the readability and visibility of conversations and quests. D. ElvUI. One of the most recommended UI customizers. E. Sexy Map. Changes the default appearance of the minimap. F. NPC Scan. Useful for hunting rare NPCs. G. Healbot. Incredibly useful for healing, especially in raids. And those are all of the add-ons that I recommend for new players. There are, of course, several more add-ons out in the world, but I think that this is a good place to start, and you can, of course, feel free to explore the Twitch app. Other than that, that's all for this video. If you have any questions or feel like I didn't cover something correctly, please drop a comment down below. If you like what I'm doing and would like to see more of it, please like and subscribe. Other than that, have a wonderful day, everyone.